Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Emma and I'm really excited for today's video because we're going to Barnes & Noble. I'm gonna get some new books today. There's so many good books out this fall and I really want to go check it out and see kind of what's being displayed, what sorts of things they're highlighting right now, and see what I end up walking away with. So without further ado, let's go. I started with a quick trip over to the book talk table. It's always really fun to see what's trending at the moment. I started to look at the books that were on display today though, and book talk, are we okay? Are we good? I then made the obligatory stop over at the Sarah J. Maas section. I loved A Court of Mist and Fury like everybody else, but I still have to finish ACOTAR as a series. I also read Throne of Glass, and I need to read the second. But then there's also The Assassin's Blade, and I've heard from some that you should read that before the second book, but I've also heard that you should read it later in the series, so I'm honestly kind of confused about that one. I really love this one though. What would Taylor Swift read? And then they put a different book with all of her different eras. Amazing.
When you need to recall the people who are with you, inside you all the time, you can hear us whisper, hold on tight, you're doing fine. Take this sunrise and hold it in your hand. When you feel lonely, let it go.
But is it truly a stop at Barnes & Noble if you don't go see all of the beautiful Penguin cloth-bound classics? I really want to get Pride and Prejudice, but it's like $25. I do own Persuasion though, and it's such a beautiful copy. There are so many of these that I want. I'm kind of thinking this might be the year that I finally read Dracula. I thought about getting this one, but the corner was all bent, but I don't know. I'll keep an eye out for next time. This is one that I actually own. It's Lovely War by Julie Berry. I feel like after reading Divine Rivals that this would be an awesome one to pick up.
Freeze this moment, roll it up into.
This is one of the main ones I wanted to look for today. It's the Natural series by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. She wrote the Inheritance Games, and these are older novels by her, but they recently got new covers, and it really just goes to show the power of top-notch cover art. Speaking of beautiful cover art, oh my gosh, so I went over to look at Naomi Novik's book. She became more popular recently for her Deadly Education series, but these are some older novels by her, Uprooted especially. Look at that gold, the castle, the flower, the vines going everywhere. It looks like a really great one for fall, actually, with the kind of mystical forest and dragon character, I guess. This one might be going onto my fall TBR. I wasn't planning on looking at journals today, but this cover, apparently I'm just a cover gremlin today. I don't know. I'm not even into astrology, but look at that. Look at it. And then this one literally looks like something out of a museum. I'm in love with that. The moon, constellations, it's so pretty. I just feel like my words are never pretty enough to go in the pretty journals, and then I never use them, even though I totally love them. These candles are so fun though. I love it. Main character energy, anti-hero, bonus points for swiftiness. This one on the bottom, Dark Academia, actually smelled so good. Melancholy, moods, and secret societies. Hello friends, I'm back from my wonderful trip to Barnes & Noble. I walked away with a few reads that I'm pretty excited about, so I think I'll go ahead and just dive right into them. The first book that I got today is The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I did read The Inheritance Games and I really liked it. I've been majorly excited to read this one since they did the cover redesign. So compared to the old cover, which I will insert here, it is much improved, and I'm really excited to read this one. It seems like it's about a teenager who has a special power of being able to kind of profile people. Like by looking at them, she's able to kind of tell like what their deal is, what their personality is, that sort of thing. So she ends up getting approached by the FBI because the FBI knows about her talent somehow, and they end up inviting her to join these other talented youth in this training that helps them solve cold cases. It sounds amazing, and I did like the Inheritance games, so I'm interested to see how she writes more of like a mystery thriller, and it just sounds like it's really action-packed and something that'll be a fast read, and so I'm looking forward to that quite a bit. It'll probably be something that I read really soon. This next book you saw featured in the Bookstore vlog because of how pretty the cover is, but it's Uprooted by Naomi Novik. I actually haven't read one of her books before, and so I'm really excited to see just what her writing style generally is. I always read the first few pages of a book in the bookstore before I buy it, just so I know that I like the vibe, and I was hooked from like 3 pages in. So I felt like the writing seemed really accessible, which is a big thing for me because I'm not a super experienced fantasy reader, and so when I do go into a fantasy, I just want to make sure that like my brain can actually handle what's coming into it, I guess. This one is about a girl named Agnieszka, and she lives in a quiet village, but the corrupted wood stands on the border, full of malevolent power, and its shadow lies over her life. Her people rely on the cold-driven wizard, known only as the dragon, to keep the wood's dark forces at bay. But he demands a terrible price for his assistance. Every 10 years, one young woman must be handed over to serve him without question. It sounds really good. Based on the first few pages, it seems like it's kind of a mystery why the dragon keeps taking these women. There's not any sort of clear-cut answer for it, so I think that's part of the whole mystery involved. But honestly, just to look at this cover again, like, I love it so much. So I don't know exactly when I'm going to read it, but I know it's going to be sometime this fall, and I am really excited. And the last book that I bought today is Assistant to the Villain. This is by Hannah Nicole Marer, and this one is like super zany and funny, and I love the sprayed edges. They bring me so much joy. But anyways, it says, Assistant Wanted. Notorious high-ranking villain seeks loyal, level-headed assistant for unspecified office duties, supporting staff for random mayhem and terror, and other dark things in general. Discretion is a must. Excellent benefits. It is really funny sounding just based on that in the first few pages that I read, and also the map on this book is a downright gem. Like, can we just appreciate, like, attack, mermaid sushi, a to-do list for the ages? I mean, there's just one great thing after another. So as soon as I opened up this book and I saw that map, I knew that it was likely going to be coming home with me because it just seems really zany and really fun, and there's some adventure and intrigue, but also it just looks hilarious. And that's one thing that I kind of miss in a lot of fantasy. Some of it can be very heavy and sad, and so I think that this will be a good reprieve in that sense. So this is Assistant to the Villain. There were a couple of books, though, that I was like this close to buying. I found a copy of Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree that I've been really wanting to read, and it was buy one get one 50% off, but I would have had to buy another book for it, and I'm going on a trip soon, and I didn't want to spend like too much money before I go because I know I'm also probably going to buy books on my trip at the bookstores that I visit. So that was one that I almost bought. I also almost bought one, it's like How to Murder Your Employer or something. I don't know, I'll put the cover on the screen, but when you write it, again, it's kind of similar to Assistant to the Villain, and it's sort of zany, tongue-in-cheek, kind of dark humor vibe, and so that kind of reads as like a fun companion to some of the darker, spookier fall books that I like to read, so there's a chance that I might be trying to get that one from the library. But these were the ones that I walked away with today, and I appreciate you all coming with me on this journey today. Book shopping is one of my favorite activities, and it's always fun to get to bring you guys along. But until the next time I see you all, I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful week and some awesome reading. Let me know what you're reading down in the comments, and I will see you next time.